They say every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they want you.
Come on, hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Corruption is not a recent phenomenon in Nigeria. Since independence, there have been cases of official misuse of resources of state for personal benefit. In times past, the nation had seen its wealth frittered away by its rulers with nothing to show in terms of improvement in the living conditions of the people. Corruption systematically midwifed the nation to near economic collapse and subjected the common man to intolerable suffering. A lot of efforts made to win the battle against corruption seemed futile. Welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. My name is Murna Barnabas Atiahi. Past efforts made to stem the tide of this corruption included setting up of military tribunals to try perceived corrupt people, initiation of an ethical revolution to sensitize Nigerians that the sweet fruit of corruption carried along with it the seed of the nation's destruction, introduction of the war against indiscipline, adoption of the strategy of mass mobilization for social and economic recovery, which sought to achieve attitudinal change through persuasion rather than coercion, institution of the failed banks tribunal, promulgation of the Advance Fee Fraud Act, among others. The objective of all these initiatives could be summarized into one: the elimination of corruption. This is the area of our focus in this edition. Hawasani Garba will bring us updates on the war against corruption.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they want you.
Come on, hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Welcome to this segment of your program Corruption Must Go. I am Hawa Sani Garba. In the continual efforts to educate public servants on corruption and its effect on the society, the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria, the training arm of ICPC in collaboration with the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences, Jos, Plateau State, organized a 2-day sensitization and awareness workshop for senior staff of the institute recently. The event, which was titled Ethics and Integrity in the Workplace, was aimed at educating the participants on the causes and effects of corruption in the workplace and building the capacity of participants to adopt administrative measures for controlling corruption. In his welcome address at the opening ceremony, the Director General of the Institute, Dr. Umaru Saidu Bamali, noted that because there was no excuse of ignorance before the law, it was therefore important to educate and sensitize the workforce of the Institute on what constitutes corruption.
As you are aware, the government of Nigeria is looking at ways that they can reduce and fight corruption. And as part of our mandate to achieve our vision and mission of this institute, we organize the training for staff, especially the senior staff at the beginning. And I want to thank the Academy for giving us the discount and agreeing to come to this institute for the first time to train our staff on this very important subject matter. On behalf of the Permanent Secretary and the Chairman NIMG Steering Committee, Alhaji Mohammed Abbas, I declare this workshop open.
The Provost of Akan, Professor Shola Akinriade, in his address stated that it was the belief in ICPC that corruption could be reduced, if not totally eradicated, through attitudinal change among Nigerians. The climax of the workshop was the interactive session where participants were grouped into syndicates to come up with an integrity and ethical plan for their organization. ICPC has commended members of the rebranded National Anti-Corruption Volunteer Corps, NAVC, for their decision to join the Corps in order to contribute to the war against corruption. Mr. Mike Sowe, the National Coordinator of NAVC, made the commendation in Abeokuta, Akure, and Ibadan during the inauguration of the newly elected officials who would steer the affairs of the Corps in Ogun, Ondo, and Oyo states for a period of 2 years. Mr. Sowe, while speaking, declared that for the war against corruption to succeed, there was a need for individuals and groups to partner with the anti-corruption agencies. He praised the officials for electing to join the Corps, describing it as the most patriotic decision any Nigeria could ever make.
The NAVC underlines the important role volunteer citizens can play to entrench, monitor, and maintain the values of fairness, honesty, and integrity, so that our country can achieve its full potential in all facets of human development, particularly in the provision of better health services, quality education at all levels, improved power supply, better roads, and accelerated infrastructural advancement. Everybody agrees that Nigeria is rich both in human and material resources. Everybody agrees that corruption is the main reason Nigeria is poor and backward, while other countries have left us far behind. By volunteering to join the NAVC and therefore wage war against corruption, you have taken the most patriotic decision any Nigerian can make.
Regarding the investigation of reports of corruption, Mr. Sowe categorically stated that NAVC could not investigate on their own. He stressed that all reports received by the volunteers must be forwarded to ICPC for investigation and possible prosecution. In a goodwill message, the Commissioner of Police in Ogun State, who was represented by CSP Abiodun Bakare, pledged to stand by NAVC as it complements ICPC in the effort to rid the state and Nigeria of corruption. Speaking on behalf of the newly inaugurated volunteers, Idris Abu vowed to perform their functions as stipulated in the guidelines of the new NAVC, adding that they would do their best to see that corruption is stamped out of their states.
Now that you are volunteered to work, to help, all hands must be on. You have identified yourself with ICPC. You have identified yourself with zero tolerance on corruption. Must you now open your eyes and see corruption being carried out and you fold your hands and keep your mouth shut?
Under my watch as the state coordinator of NAVC in Ogun State, I am saying heartedly here that we will do all things being possible to see that the bondage which corruption has put us, today it has been losing. And we know that henceforth, as from this moment, Ogun State will be a state where other states will come and copy from.
An Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, ACTU, has been inaugurated for Kwali Area Council by ICPC in order to promote transparent and accountable procedures as well as tackle corrupt practices in the council. The establishment of the ACTU is in line with the preventive function of the Commission. Mr. Justin Kwatsier of the Corruption Monitoring and Evaluation Department of ICPC, who oversaw the inauguration, gave an overview of the ACTU standing order, which gave birth to the initiative, and stated that ACTU was created by ICPC in collaboration with the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation to serve as an in-house check mechanism within ministries, departments, and agencies of government. He added that ACTU was also conceived to monitor, identify, and address the ethical lapses in MDA's systems. In his acceptance speech, Alhaji Lawa Muruf, head of personnel management of the council, acknowledged the fact that the task before his team was a serious one that required the cooperation of the management and staff of the area council. That's all from this segment of the program. Corruption Must Go continues.
Make we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they want to.
One hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Corruption not in my country.
Madam, madam, welcome. Okay, madam, no worry. When you deliver the balance, we'll give you the goods.
No problem, no problem. All right, so now well done.
Thank you. Hey, Oga, I still say she don't bring money. Maybe we use this one for her now. She wants mahogany, not white wood. Oga, our work now to join wood together, deliver whatever to customer, put the remaining profit for pocket.
This is corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
ICPC was established in the year 2000 under President Olusegun Obasanjo to tackle rampant corruption and the cynical contempt for integrity that perverted every level of bureaucracy at all levels in the public service head-on. Since its creation and its other sister agencies over a decade ago, how far has Nigeria fared in the war against graft? Has the nation made any significant progress so far? Is the fight futile or effective? Corruption must go randomly, sought the views of some Nigerians.
In your own opinion, this fight against corruption, is it a reality or is just some kind of noise making, media hype and the rest?
Fight against corruption, I believe we are making progress. The problem did not start suddenly. It took time, and certainly it had to take time. I believe gradually we march over it. It will take time. It's not something that starts in a day. And I mean, the level at which we are now, we did not get there on the same day. But certainly, the corruption in Nigeria is at the peak. This administration is trying, and to me, they are making progress. And I believe, as time goes on, if other governments can continue like that, certainly, at the time, we're able to fight it to a standstill.
We want to thank the present administration under the watch of President Muhammad Buhari, and also his effort to fight against corruption in Nigeria. In the previous government, yes, we have some rascality. We have some way the leverage of spending and the assumption of money coming into the government purse. It was not well managed, and it resulted to the country to be corrupt, and the individual also, some privileged ones, engage in corruption. The present administration has come and has engaged in the fight against corruption. I believe it should be realistic. It shouldn't be a marriage. It should be realistic in the fact that they should be fighting a holistic fight against the corruption. The fight, if the person, somebody from Katsina or Daura, was said to be corrupt, it should go after him and make sure that he retrieve that money into the coffer of the government. If there's one that is found in Port Harcourt or Lagos or anywhere, or even in Abuja, even me that I am talking also, I am found to be corrupt. Government should engage with me to make sure that that money of the government stolen by me is returned and me persecuted. That is what will bring about a good record to the international level of Nigeria not being corrupt.
Mirage.
To me, the war against corruption in Nigeria has not been able to really impact on the society, because there are still a lot of corrupt people out there that are yet to face charges, maybe either in the law court or at the corruption agency. So I think the government need to put more effort on the corruption level, because if you can look at the history of Nigeria, corruption has been one of the key problem Nigeria has been facing since independence. So if all those abnormalities can be corrected in government so that Nigeria can be a better society where an average Nigeria will live okay, we don't need to travel abroad before we seek for greener pasture. Nigeria has been blessed with a lot of natural resources. So I'm appealing for those in authority to ensure that whosoever has been involved or been appointed or elected to serve in any public office should properly give account of his own tenure or whatever the person is doing in government, so that Nigeria can be developed and Nigeria can move from present stage where we are to another stage.
Public servants, civil servants who are entitled to official vehicles to be used during working hours. Those public officers, what they do in most cases is that they take these vehicles and travel with them, not for the purpose of performing their official duties. What they are doing is also corrupt practice. So if we want to look at corruption, we should be able to look at it holistically. It's not just limited to somebody embezzling money from his office. It goes beyond that. Okay. So there is need for the anti-graft agents to go beyond issue of money to all these items, so as to curb corruption in all its entirety.
Okay. The people who convert government officials that convert what is not meant for them, actually what is meant for the people for their personal use, they should stop that. They should know that it is corruption, and we must let them know that as they continue in this, there is penalty. Remember also, those who believe in God, there will be accountability, there will be accounts rendered on all your dealings here on earth. So it's important they know that what they are doing will lead them to hell. I know both religions believe in the destination of man, either in hell or heaven. So it has eternal consequences. So they should desist from doing that and know that it will not help this country. And the more they use personal government properties for the use, the more we destroy this country. We need to build this country. We need to build institutions. We need to build institutions that work for the people, and for the agencies responsible in regulating these people, they should go all out. Thank God for what is happening. The ICPC is doing very well. EFCC also, all those government institutions empowered, given the responsibility to checkmate this thing. They should go all out, especially on government officials that have been making use of making use of things that do not belong to them. They should go all out, arrest them, prosecute them, let the law take its full course.
Buhari is the author that bring about the fight against corruption. He is not. Anybody that knows two giant leaders in this world, they must recognize the fact that a fight against corruption is not something that emanates from Muhammad Buhari's administration. One, Any good Christian in this world must testify to the fact that Jesus Christ is against corruption. Or if you think Jesus Christ has never propelled anything against corruption, tell me that you are telling lie. Can you do that? If it is no, you know that he is one of the architects behind fighting against corruption. Secondly, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the giant of the world, he is against the corruption. In fact, any act of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is against anything that has to do with cheat, any form of cheat, not even corruption alone. Corruption is in a broader wide, anything that will subdue your fellow human being. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is against it. Jesus Christ is also against it. So if you look at it, the president of this country, in the person of Muhammadu Buhari, is only emulating the picture that these two giant people has portrayed to him. And you and I must succumb to it, because if you are not a Christian, you are a Muslim. And if you are not a Muslim, you are a Christian. Because even if you don't believe into two religions, anywhere you are, you will not allow anybody, you will not feel that anybody should come and stampede on your right or undo you unnecessarily. I want to ask you, when you go to Jerusalem, can you pinpoint every angle where did Jesus Christ live? Can you pinpoint to me where you can count 1, 2, 3 or 20 of his houses? Can you do that? Yeah? If you talk of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you go to Medina and Mecca, you will discover that anywhere you go, apart from his graveyard, that you can see and touch in Medina, you can never count a single house that you say that this one belongs to Rasulullah and this is what he left behind.
What do you want to buy?
Potato. Small basket. I want plantain.
But why your plantain can't hard like this?
Madam, now the outside hard. Inside there, it is very soft.
Madam, wallahi make her no buy them. Make her show you something. What? What in be this one? Madam, this one now the chemical where they put on for the plantain make her ripe up.
So you dey put chemical for plantain where people go chop?
No water, no be chemical.
Water. You know say Pela I don't talk and say water and not be enemy. Drink am.
Where you collect that water, drink am.
I just stop finish. See my belly. After it don't big. I just stop drink water finish.
Wait, can drink am now. I dey sell am plantain, I go come put am for chemical because I want to make a ripe go. That's why I talk now corruption. Corruption, not be for this kaswa, come not be for this country. Now me take
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Though the country is not yet where we want to be, but we are surely not where we used to be yesterday. The transformation of Nigeria requires a mass of people sworn to righteousness, committed to shunning bribery and corruption, regardless of what it will cost them. Send in your comments, questions and suggestions via our social media platforms. You can also watch this program on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/ICPC Nigeria. Thank you for watching. See you again next week. My name is Murna Barnabas Atiai.